Hello everybody! Welcome to my English class. How are you today? Oh, fantastic. Okay, I'm glad you're all fine. Okay, let's get started. Learning objectives for today is to be able to use present perfect tense within a positive sentence, with a negative sentence, and we'll be able to make a question as well. Okay, so let's get started. Present perfect tense is quite different to simple past tense. At the end of the lesson, I will give you some examples. But the meaning, why do we use present perfect tense? Why does it exist? We use present perfect tense to talk about a finished action in the past. So something happened in the past and it's finished. So if you have a look at my timeline, so this is the past, now, and the future. So when I want to talk about something happened in the past, but the time is not important. Okay, but whereas in simple past tense, the time, I have to state the time. But with present perfect tense, I don't have to mention about the time. Time is not important. For example, I'm talking to a friend and I tell him, oh, I have seen that movie. So in the past, sometime in the past, maybe 5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe last week sometime, I've seen that movie, but it's all finished now. But I don't want to really state the time. Whereas in simple past tense, you have to tell the time. So for example, I saw that movie last night. But with present perfect tense, I have seen that movie sometime in the past. Okay, time is not important. So this is the one meaning of present perfect tense. The second meaning, we use present perfect tense to talk about the events that began in the past and still continues till the present time. So if you look at my timeline again, I have worked here since 2010. I started to work for the company in 2010, and now it's 2020 and I still work for this company. Still the same example, I have worked here for 10 years, so 2010 to 2020, it's 10 years in between. Okay, so the second meaning, just to conclude, we use present perfect tense to talk about some event happened in the past and it still continues up till present. Now let's have a look at the rules of how do I make present perfect tense with a positive sentence. Again, we have the subject, I, you, we, they. Subject first, and the auxiliary have. And remember, the verb has to be, we have verb 1, verb 2, and verb 3. Let's give an example. Okay, so verb 1 will be present tense. So if I say, for example, write, the infinitive form, the basic form, remember from the last lesson, the basic form is write. But if I want to make this past tense, if I did something yesterday, do you remember? Write. Absolutely fantastic. It is wrote. So this is the simple past tense. So write is verb 1, the basic form. Wrote past tense is the verb 2. And written is the verb 3. Okay, so present perfect tense, you have to use verb 3. So we call these verbs past participle in English language, okay? So subject, I, you, we, they. The auxiliary have and the verb 3. So I have written a book. I have written a book sometime in the past, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, sometime in the time is not important. I have written a book. But be careful, if we are using he, she, it as a subject, then do we say she have lived? No, absolutely. We don't say she have lived. She has lived. Okay, so with he, she, and it, we have to use has. And still the verb 3 is the same. Okay, so let's think of another example. For example, you have eaten, but she have eaten or has eaten? She has eaten. Eaten is the verb 3. Eat. Help me. Verb 1 is eat. Verb 2 past tense. Ate. And verb 3 past participle. Eaten. Very good. Well done. Okay. So she has lived in Italy, or he has lived in Italy since 1998. So first example, I have written a book. It happened in the past, but time is not important. Number 2, she has lived in Italy since 1998. So she started to live in Italy in 1998, and it still goes on up till the time of speaking. Okay, perfect. You are doing so well. Okay, to form a negative sentence, we have to put the subject again. Then we have and has. But after have and has, put not. Okay, so when we contract it, it's haven't, I haven't, she hasn't. Okay, so have not seen becomes haven't seen. Has not visited becomes hasn't visited. Okay, very good. And then you can put the object. Okay, so just be careful with he, she, it becomes hasn't. Okay, hasn't. And with are, you, we, they, it's have, haven't. Very good, well done. Okay, to make a question with present perfect tense, it's quite basic. So we put the auxiliary have and has at the beginning of the sentence. Have you ever been to Africa? Or has he tried sushi before? Sometime in his life. Okay, so put have, has at the beginning of the sentence, and then the subject, and then the object. Remember the verb in the question, it is still verb 3. Okay, it's always verb 3 with present perfect tense. That's what you have to memorize. Okay, verb 1, verb 2, verb 3. The past participle you have to use with present perfect tense. Okay, so been is verb 3, tried, verb 2, and the verb 3 is the same with tried, okay? So some verbs are easier. Okay, very good. Okay, so you can pause the video and tell me the correct answer. I've seen a lion at the zoo. I've seen a lion at the zoo. Or I've seen a lion at the zoo yesterday. Which one do you think is correct? Pause the video. I've seen a lion at the zoo. Excellent. And the reason... Oh, my pen is going a bit funny. Okay. I've seen a lion at the zoo with the present perfect tense. Yes, the time is not important. So with yesterday, there is a time, and we can use yesterday with only simple past tense, not present perfect tense. So if there is a time, you have to use simple past tense. Okay, but if the time is not important, you can use present perfect tense. Very good, well done. Okay, so I have 4 questions for you. Can you help me to make the first sentence? So the first one is a positive sentence. And number 2 as well. Number 3 is a negative sentence. Remember, minus, negative. And the last one, you're going to make a question. Okay, excellent. So, he lived here for 2 months. Okay, pause the video, do it yourself, number 1, and then let's do it together. Okay. He have or he has? He has, perfect. Because with I, you, we, they, we only use have. But with he, she, it, we use has. Okay, so we have to think about the past participle, verb 3 of live, live, lived. Perfect. He has lived. He has lived here for 2. My pen is going absolutely crazy. Lived. Okay, here for 2 months. Very good. Well done. What about number 2? Again, a positive sentence. I write a letter. Positive. You can pause the video. Is it I have or I has? That's right. We talked about it just a minute ago. I have. What about write? Verb 3 of write is yes, written. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit challenging to memorize all these verbs in verb 3, but it will become a lot easier as you practice. Lovely. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at number 3. So this is a negative sentence, remember. Pause the video, do it yourself first. She seen her uncle for 6 years. She, negative. She haven't or she hasn't? That's right. She hasn't. Because we only use have with I, you, we, they. Okay, so she hasn't. Okay, so I made a mistake here. I was going to just say see, because seen, I gave you the answer. Okay, see, verb 1, verb 2 is saw, simple past tense, and seen is the verb 3. Okay, so she hasn't, not saw, she hasn't saw, or she hasn't she hasn't seen her uncle for 6 years. Very good. Okay, the last one. A question. You eat a lobster before? Okay, so remember this is you. Is it has you or have you? Absolutely. Have you. Eat is the verb 1. What's the verb 2? Do you remember? Absolutely. Eat, ate. And the verb 3 is eaten. Eaten. Lovely. Well done. You worked so hard today. Okay. Have you eaten a lobster before? And you can say, yes, I have. Yes. Or, no, I haven't. Okay. Very good. Well done. Okay, if I ask you a question, have you ever been to London? Somebody said, yes, I have. Very good. And somebody said, no, I haven't. Okay, very good. Simple. Yes, I have. No, I haven't with a question. Okay, lovely to see you again. Thank you so much for attending my class. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bells so every time I put a new video, you can watch it and improve your English. And please leave a comment as well.